time to deciding what you're going to plant and where, think carefully about a couple of factors. These can include what kind of climate you actually live in, and also what kind of food the people would like to eat who are involved in the garden. So when you start to plant, it's good to think about what kind of companion plants might be useful. Companion planting is a great way to resist pest attack, improve soil health, and also get a bigger yield out of the crop that you're working with. Today we're going to plant some cauliflowers and some mixed lettuce. We're going to have a border made out of chives. All these plants can live really happily together. The cauliflowers will grow really, really big. The lettuces can be planted beneath and around them and won't interfere. Meanwhile, the beautiful onion chives form a big border around the bed. Because they're quite a smelly herb, they'll help deter any unwanted pests. They're also great and tasty. Another aspect of companion planting is its ability to attract beneficial insects and bugs. I do this by planting native plants in every single veggie garden I make. Over yonder, I've got a mix of native grasses and small shrubs which have really great flowers. These will attract the birds and the bees and all the lizards, which will help control any unwanted pests in this garden. Although when you're planting natives, make sure you never plant a big gum tree in your vegetable garden because its roots will go down and suck up all the water and nutrients away from your vegetables. So here we have an example of some companion planting that's known as the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters is a combination of corn, pumpkin and beans. And it has come from South America, where people over there did it for a long, long time. And the way it works is the corn grows up nice and tall and strong. The beans will climb up it, using it as a framework. Meanwhile, the pumpkin will grow everywhere underneath it. With big leaves will be a beautiful living mulch for the soil. That means that all of these plants can live together really happily, look after the soil and look after themselves. So when deciding where to actually place your plants in the garden bed, it's a good idea to think about what plants you're going to need access to the most. In this garden bed, we've put lettuces, which are really quick growing, on the outside. That's why it's really easy to access. We've got corn and pumpkins in the middle of the bed. That's because they're going to take a long time to grow comparatively. We've also got some purple king beans growing up around the outside of the corn. They take longer than the lettuce but shorter than the corn and the pumpkin, so they're still easy to access but slightly out of the way. It's important to think about what water needs your plants will have. You can make it easier on yourself by planting plants together which have the same water requirements. If you live in a really dry area, you can just look at planting crops which need limited water. You can have soaker hoses or you can have drip line irrigation. Having them in water time means that on weekends and school holidays you can just flick a switch and go home and know that your garden will still get watered on really hot summer weekends. When gardening, it's really important to always be observing. When it comes to watering, that's even more important. Instead of just going out there and turning the tap on any old time of the day, a good technique to see if your garden actually needs water is to do the finger test. Simply get one finger. Do we have a finger? Where's your finger, Tui Tui? Sasa. And then put it in the dirt, wriggle it around, and then pull it out. If your finger comes out wet or feeling wet, your garden doesn't need any water because it's still holding moisture in there. If it comes out dry, however, it's a good time to water. So when watering with your watering can, you don't have to just hold it over the plant and drown it. You just slowly sweep it along the garden bed. Sometimes it's a good idea to aim just next to your seedling so your actual seedling doesn't get hit too hard. Around 4 to 6 slow sweeps of your watering can should be enough.